about Arthur and Omar there. What about Mark? Obviously, he didn't feature last weekend. Is he fit? Could he be involved? Is he training? What's the situation?
Yeah, I think for the three, we'll have the opportunity to select them. Probably it will be a bit tough to start for two reasons: their fitness level and the experience they got with the team. So probably it will be a bit early, but we'll decide definitely tomorrow morning.
We haven't had a chance to speak to you since Omar signed. Can you give us a bit of an insight into why you wanted to bring him in? And it doesn't look like he's played much in pre-season for Getafe, but are you happy with his fitness?
Yes, played 2 45s, I think, and got a small injury on his knee. Now it's totally healed. So he had 12 days without full training sessions. So he's not, he's fit, but not really ready to start again. If we needed him, I think he could start because he's a warrior, really warrior. So about the style of play, I think it's strong, powerful, intense defender. I wouldn't like to be a number 9 against him. So he's experienced, played a lot with his national team as well. A lot of football in La Liga. So it will be a different mindset, probably a different leadership, and I think it's useful for our defense.
Are you happy with that position now, or would you ideally like to get someone who could allow Jensen to go out and
I'm happy with the progression of Jensen. If we speak about his last season, he played only one game, came in at Coventry once, maybe just 5 or 10 minutes at the end of another game later. So his pre-season was really positive. After that, he's still a young player, really young player. And he needs to reinforce his body to get a new maturity, adult maturity. So he's really talented. I like his style of play. But at the same time, the Premier League is really challenging. So we have to find the right balance between new, not really new, talented young players and experience. And probably the first games will help us to find this good balance.
Just very quickly, do you know at this stage how long you're expecting Romain to be out for?
Romain time frame, I think it's about 3 months, 2.5 and 3 months. So it'll probably be in October, I think. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ian? Hi, Ian Murder, freelance. Can we talk about Mayenda? He's only 20. He got better and better last season. How high is his ceiling?
The Premier League will say.
Yeah.
But I like Eli and his mindset. So he still wants to improve, and I think he showed during this pre-season where he is at the minute and the potential, the full potential he has. But the potential is the potential, so it's always something to achieve. It's really important for a young player to understand that. And we can feel his strength, his ability to hold the ball, to turn, to dribble, to go in behind, to be a threat in the box as well. And but the final bit for striker, a forward, is to be clinical. So it's probably the next stage for him. But I really like his behavior.
So can he evolve into a natural goal scorer? And final question from me: is there any concern that he hasn't scored pre-season?
No, it's not a big concern because I believe that he will score. And for these two positions, I think we have the goalkeeper and the striker, the forwards involved in decisive situations. We have to support them because we feel that they have the quality to fill this position. They can struggle, but doesn't mean that they are not able to do it. So it's a question of support and beliefs, I think, and it's the case for Eddie, it's the case for Wilson, it's the case for James, it's the case for Simon and Mark as well. So we believe that they will be strong forwards. Maybe they will struggle, maybe not. They will start early and they'll struggle later. It's always a question of dynamic.
Thank you, all the best.
Luke. Hi, Regis, Luke Edwards from the Telegraph. This gap between the Championship and the Premier League, history shows us the last 2 years the 3 promoted teams have both gone down. Is it the biggest gap between the leagues as far as you're concerned in Europe?
Good question. I would like to experience
Unusual,
other leagues to feel it. It's a big gap, probably. It's a big gap, one of the biggest, probably. Yes, I get that. So challenging. For me, it's really challenging and interesting to face. So different experiences. I think we are well organized, and I feel the quality of the people and the way they work together. And we are aware of this challenge, and obviously we have to experience it. It's always a new experience, but at the same time, at least what we can control, we are doing well, and we'll see.
And I think what has impressed people is it would almost be easy to stick with that core of the squad. You got promoted unexpectedly. You could take a year and just say, this is your reward for getting us promoted. But the club doesn't seem to want to do that. The club really wants to attack it and have as good a chance as possible, looking at your recruitment, of managing to stay up next season.
Yeah, we want to keep our identity, our model. So it's always important to just adjust according to the level we'll have to face. But it's still the same identity. So young players, talented, maybe, how can I say this, without assessing too much the consequences. When you are young, I think you are like that. And for the defenders and the midfielders, you need a bit more experience to find the balance. And high up the pitch, you have to take risks. Even if you struggle or you make mistakes, you can do it again without restrictions. And for the back four, the 2 6s, this part of the squad, I think you have to give confidence and security for the whole squad. So I think at the minute we are building this setup.
And that blend has been very deliberate by the looks of things. Some older players, some younger players. You hope you get that mixture right of a new team.
Yeah, I would like to find the right balance, and but at the minute it worked well. It works well, so we'll see.
Thank you.
Louise?
Hi, I'm Louise Taylor from The Guardian. And you talked about players that can make a difference, be game changers with individual decisions. And Enzo Lefebvre, all 5 goals you scored in the playoffs, he directly or indirectly created. How important is he going to be this season, and do you see him as a catalyst?
Yeah, I think so. I think Enzo is one of these players that can make the difference, and he has to step up as well, because it's probably the most challenging league in the world. And but he showed last season, especially during important moments, that he has this quality, and I believe it will be a massive player for us this season. I agree.
And on a practical level, I mean, you've got a lot of French-speaking players, some Spanish, assorted languages. Do you have any edict about everyone should try and speak English, or are you happy for people to speak in French or whatever?
Yeah, the official language is English, really clear. So we started the presentation of our game model through the different words we have to use on the pitch, and we speak English. So obviously, I think on the pitch with the crowd, when you have 3 or 4 French players or with the French language, they should use French words if it's easier to solve problems or to be a bit more efficient. But the official language is still English.
Okay, thank you.
Gary?
Hi Reggie, good to see you again. There's some teams not far from here that have been struggling to get players in through the door this summer. Sunderland have been active, strengthened plenty already. But what difficulties does that bring to you as a manager, having so many new players in the squad? I was just wondering if you can shed any light on that.
Yeah, I think it could have been more difficult if the process of recruitment wasn't connected with the game model and the way the staff works. So this process is now clean, I think, So when I'm involved in a video call and at the end of the process, I know the player, I know that he should fit with our methodology, and if the process is well organized like that, when the player comes in, I'm not surprised. And no one is surprised about his style of play, his quality, his ability to connect with people. So it was, I think, an efficient process so far. And it's a new squad, almost a new squad. But so far, the connections were really good.
And how do you personally help these players settle in? Will you meet them outside of the training ground for dinner or anything like that? Are you able to give any insight on that?
Not really. I would like. I would like. But yeah, the environment is really open. My office is still open, so it's like a signal to say we can have conversation everywhere, informal, formal, and I think the connections, human connections, are really important in our meeting.
Thank you. Good luck first.
Dom?
You said you're going to finalise your leadership team at the end of the transfer window. Will that be a combination of new signings and players from last season, key players from last?
Yeah, probably. So we still have to wait a bit just to find the right balance, because it's often connected with the game time. So if you are not fully involved in the squad, it's a bit more difficult to help this leadership group. So we'll find the right balance at the end of the transfer window.
You've talked about your conversations with Dan Neil. What kind of talks have you had with Anthony Patterson this summer?
Yeah, it's still ongoing, because we recruited a new goalkeeper to challenge this position. I think it was really important. At the same time, it's like for every player on the pitch, you have to accept to face the challenge of the Premier League. First of all, you have to accept the challenge in your position, and if you take it positively, you are in the right mood. So it's really easy with. So far, it was easy with every player.
And how has he responded day to day?
I think you still have a short period of time to digest the new setup. Can I say like this? Because the transfer window it's still unpredictable. So we would like, as a manager, as a coach, to have our full squad ready from scratch, but it's never the case. So the balance of the competition started, maybe it was a bit tougher for the midfielders, and for the wingers, the strikers. At the beginning it was easy, now it's getting harder, and it's the case for the goalkeeper. So it's an evolution, but I think every players in the squad know now that it's important to have the best team as possible to be competitive in the league.
And last one, do you have a clear number one going into the season?
Yeah, it's clear. We start with Robin. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nine.
Hi Regis, do you have any nerves yourself ahead of your first season in the Premier League?
Not really. We need challenge, and I need challenge. So it fits the process. So I'm really excited by the new challenge and confident because we are working together, and we can't face this challenge alone, or just with small units not connected. And I feel that it's really the case. So probably the condition is so high that we, being aware of the challenge, helps to create this condition. Otherwise, we'll fail. So we are in this condition. So it's very positive.
How huge has the challenge been for you this summer? And have you ever in your life had anything like it in terms of being this busy?
Yes, not the first time, so it's different. It's always different, and it's good to avoid always the same story. I think it becomes boring at the end, so it's not the case in my life so far. And I repeat, it was a busy summer, but really interesting because the energy was really positive. So sometimes you have a busy summer, it happened before, but you can feel that we are not ready to face the challenge, and this is not my feeling today.
When you see so much rebuilding work in terms of structural and physical and players, how does that make you feel?
Happy because I feel that we are growing. So obviously, when you make a change, someone will suffer with, or many people will suffer with because of the change. Because it's not always the human behavior to accept the change. But in this journey, we have to change. We have to evolve every day. So it's my mindset really. So I don't like to be stable or steady. Both works. I don't know. I would always want to create something new, and in this condition, it's really needed.
Cheers, Danny.
Michael Lower from Can I just ask you one about your goal scorers? You have 3 strikers, but are you thinking of the other wingers as? Do you think of 3 strikers, or do you think of 6 or 7 attacking players who can score?
Yeah, I think it's our mindset to create different threats rather than just one, and this is your responsibility as a striker. You have to score. So I think a player like Habib can score really in this position. I think our 3 strikers will score. I'm confident, and our wingers even 8 on set pieces as well. We showed in the past that it was really important. So it's a question of collective responsibility.
Thank you.
Mike.
Obviously, last year in the playoffs, you had VAR. It worked in Sunderland's favour then. This season, obviously, you've signed a lot of players who have experience of playing at the top level. But PGMOL this week, the referees are going to take more notice of shirt pulling in the box. Have you had anybody in this week from the referee organisation?
Yeah, it happened before during the pre-season, and it's important to connect with this new setup because it's a bit different, and the way you can defend in the box on set pieces, for example, or attack in the box on set pieces. I think for the offside, it's fair to say that if it's the best decision, it's the best decision. You're offside, you're offside. And for the VAR, for other actions, yeah, we'll have to manage different situations, and we'll see.
Have you had to have many conversations with the players about this? Or was it pretty
Yeah, a bit. Yeah, we had. I think it will be the case this season.